Hi everyone, this is Perfume Coast, so welcome to my channel. As I continue talking about clean profile, today I'm going to talk about fruity clean profile. And without further ado, let's jump into the ocean of perfumes. So the first three fragrances are straight up your Lux laundry detergent. And the first perfume I'd like to talk about is of course Toy 2 by the brand Moschino. And as always, let's take a quick look at the notes. So what we're dealing on the top according to Fragrantica is apple, mandarin orange and magnolia. In the middle there's white currant, peony and jasmine. And finally in the base there's musk, sandalwood and amberwood. If you want a scent of apple laundry detergent on your skin or clothing, this one is exactly that. This utter snow white, starch-like texture is exactly what this fragrance delivers. So this cleanliness, starchiness and luxurious laundry detergency is very loud here. Perhaps different to other fragrances where clean vibe may mean toned down character. Well, this cleanliness is probably achieved by the clean masks that are used here. As said before, apple note is very distinct here, but the clean ingredients are so strong that even this apple note is a supporting one. What else to say about this release other than previously mentioned? Well, it's a touch sweet, very juicy and fresh, and at the same time sort of powdery. But in its core, it's quite linear, luxurious and quite prominent laundry detergent with a touch of tart apple. Despite being designer release, it appears to be one of my favorite options for smelling screechingly clean and invigorating. By the way, it's also very long-lasting, up to 8 hours I can distinctly detect the scent around. If you're someone sitting in the office and it's, for example, 5 o'clock, trust me, you can still feel like you just put your freshly washed and pressed shirt on. So next up, along the same lines, is a release by the brand Soeurs and it's called Red Berries Elixir. And as always, let's take a quick look at the notes that Fragrantica is giving us. So here what we're dealing with is a cluster of notes. And let's get reminded of what they are. So here we have strawberry, ambroxan, strawberry syrup, meringue, white musk, red currant and cherry. Also we've got barberry, tonka bean and pink pepper. Now, if you want your laundry detergent to smell strawberries, this one is for you. It's quite unique in a way that if you think of fresh wild strawberries, this fragrance will deliver this perfectly. It's your juicy, musky, fresh wild strawberry that's a touch sweet and has green aspects to it as well. But if you want fruity clean feel as you start your day, this scent will certainly scratch that itch as well. So this scent is primarily clean, detergent clean to be precise, but somehow it also is non-synthetic wild strawberry that contributes to the freshness, utter cleanliness and translucency of this beautiful fragrance. The high-quality materials, including clean musks, are certainly a substantial part of what this perfume is. It's also quite strong and long-lasting, so in the end it's your clean, fruity, sparkling, effervescent and translucent, but also fun laundry detergent that is capable of keeping your spirits up even on a gloomy day. So next up is yet another detergent-like scent by the brand Clean, and it's called Cool Cotton. And as always, let's take a look at Fragrantica's list of the notes. So what we're having here on the top is lemon peel, bergamot and green apple. In the middle there's cotton flower, mint and mimosa. And finally in the base there's white musk, peach and amber. This one is for those who want their apple laundry detergent to be even more laundry detergenty, if that makes sense. It's along the same line as Toy 2 by Moschino, but apple note here is far on the background. And front stage is fully given to the fresh, again screechingly clean and powdery laundry detergent. Hence the name captures nicely the fragrance spirit, and it's your cool, clean cotton, freshly washed and just taken out of the washing machine. But the washing was done here with the use of laundry detergent having a good dose of green apple. So the prevalence of laundry detergent is largely achieved, in my view, by the presence of cotton flower note and also the note of mint, which also gives this fragrance freshness. The presence of bergamot in the opening gives this perfume utter sparkliness, but is hardly identified on its own, I would say. So in terms of notes detected overall, it's mainly about clean white musks, cottony feel, freshness and sparkliness with a touch of green apple. Other than that, I can hardly detect any mimosa, peach or especially amber. And as often happens in the fragrance world, many notes are aimed to achieve results other than its own presence. Such, for example, are amber accord in here that seems to be serving as longevity provider rather than anything else. Now the scent is again quite long-lasting. It also is quite linear, but compared to the previously mentioned fragrances, the two of them, towards dry down, this one is a bit of a transformation. While utter cleanliness continues to deliver green apple flavor is replaced by the mint that's gradually less, dissolved in our laundry detergent. And the latter is exactly what I'm left with in the deep dry down. So with next three perfumes, we're slightly moving away from laundry detergent territory straight to the strong fruit presence. And next up is the release belonging to the Infision line by the brand Prada. And it's called Infision de Figue. So, and as always, let's take a quick look at what Fragrantica is listing us in terms of the notes. So on the top there's mandarin orange, in the middle there's fig, and finally in the base there's mastic/lentisque and galbanum. So in the opening, you clearly and unmistakably so detect this Prada Infusion-like DNA, which is iris-forward, powdery and certainly clean. But this time it's very much about the fruit. Fig here is precisely the fruit part rather than twig-like one. As in Diptyque Philosophus, for instance, the green part is standing out a lot more. While here again, it's rather about the fruit. So this fig is certainly clean, powdery, a bit sweet, quite rounded, with just a touch of green faucets. That's in their turn give off this utter freshness, but again in no way go into the green direction. The imagery that comes to mind with this one is a lobby of a small luxurious hotel, the likes of a small castle perhaps, and I'm sitting on a wooden chair smelling, the whiffs coming from fruity fig perfume or cleaning product used on a beautiful carpet that's in this lobby. So if you enjoy Prada Infusion line and you'd like a juicy, freshly fig to be added to its clean and powdery DNA, this perfume will deliver exactly this and more. So we're now moving even closer to the fruit, and next up is entirely an extremely fruity release. It's called Pear Inc. by the brand Juliette Has. And as always, let's take a quick look at the notes. So according to Fragrantica, what we're having here, on the top there is pear, in the middle there's abroxan, and finally in the base there's musk and ambritolide. So this one starts off with abundance of clean and juicy faucets. But in a matter of seconds it's become something it's going to be till the very end. And what it is this juicy, fresh and extremely realistic pear. This pear, whilst being juicy and fresh, is quite sweet and again very non-synthetic. It almost feels like perfumery has managed to extract the oils from the real pear. And while interestingly, it's the other way around because this realistic, clean, juicy pear is achieved by a good deal of ambroxan, which is, of course, chemical that normally delivers fluffiness and airiness. But here it also somehow amplifies the realistic nature of a pear. It also feels like you're biting into the fresh and juicy pear that's still dewy, and the yellow-pink pear skin is cut through as you eat this pear, and the juice is dripping. So it's your delicious and natural pear, and very often pear-forward perfumes to me smell very synthetic, But here clearly it's not the case. Longevity is quite moderate based on my experience, but with this perfume it depends on a concrete time I'm using it, and even a season. In warmer season, for example, this perfume is a lot more long-lasting, about 5 hours, whilst in colder weather it can last up to 3 hours. But again, longevity is a very individual thing to have. Plus, I think that uniqueness of having extremely clean and realistic pear on your skin is totally worthwhile sacrificing a bit in terms of longevity. And finally, to wrap this video up, is most gorgeous release dedicated to the clean fruit. It's called Un Jardin de Monsieur by the brand Hermes. And let's take a look at the notes that Fragrantica is listing us again. So what we have here is a cluster of notes consisting of kumquat, jasmine, mint and green sap. So what can I say? It's a beautiful fruity scent. It starts off very bright, sparkly and fruity. Cleanliness this time around is interwoven into the fruity nature of kumquat, and it is no way a laundry detergent or even separately standing accord of one. If you're someone who has never smelled real kumquat fruit, you'll certainly detect this delicious, sweet, but not overly sweet, juicy fruit. Somehow yellow color comes to mind, and to my nose it has similarity to most beautiful, sweet melon. That's not one of those ones used in aquatic fragrances, for example. But this melon-like effect is totally about flesh of fruit with its juiciness and sweetness. So very unique scent that smells like no other, quite long-lasting and high quality, instant mood booster, especially in the warmer season, but I also wear it very often in winter as a pick-me-up option. But that's it, guys. This wraps up the video. If you've liked it, please give it a like. Please subscribe to the channel. Please comment if you will. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.